Moin, today we're going to watch the Ever Acme, or Ever Acme spelled in the US. It's a first approach to the port of Hamburg in northern Germany. No wonder, it's a maiden call. And this is all filmed from the basement of the front fire Finkenwerder, what is located in the southwest of Hamburg on the southern shore of the Elbe. I'll put a Google Maps link in the description below. This place is one of my favorite photo spots at the Elbe, especially because you have an absolutely breathtaking view into the port. We will see that later on. The port, or the Elbphilharmonie, what is the main building there, it is about 8 kilometers off from the place where I'm standing, but it's just 3,000 meters or 2 miles away from the place where the magic will happen. Let's see. Normally, before such a big vessel arrives, you have some supporting acts like tugboats, pilot boats, ferries, dredgers, whatever you want. Especially the tugboats I love. Such a incredible power in such a small boat. Well, by the way, they are not small and far away from tiny, but compared to this container vessel, yep, they're not exactly big. We can see the pilot's boat. They brought the harbor pilot inside, port pilot, and in the front of the ship, at the bow, you can see a tugboat. They're just hitching the lines to take some immediate action. Yep. By the way, talking about big boats, Ever Acme, yes, she is exactly big. 400 meters long, 61.5 meters wide, and it can carry up to 24,000 20-foot equivalent units. What is a lot, definitely. And by the way, she's powered by 69,465 well-trained horses living in the engine room. Yup. So, normally shooting of this kind consists of 3 stages: approaching, too close, and sailing away quickly. The initial start for shooting is when it passes this metal concrete. You can see there is a red one. And from this moment on, you can start shooting with a less than 300 millimeter focal length, full frame equivalent, of course. And it's coming closer very, very quick, so have your wide angle lens always ready. Normally the ship's approaching by a speed of 10 knots, what sounds not very much, but the closer it comes, the faster it feels. You will see that in a moment. So this train is coming nearer. It's pretty normal that you have one large vessel and 3 tugboats, one in the front, one in the back, and one more or less in the back, filling around somewhere until they arrive in the real port area. Then they need a third tugboat for pushing and towing services. At this point, I pulled the focal length of the video camera back to 24 something millimeters. So you see more or less whatever you will see with a 24 millimeter lens or normal smartphone, whatever. And we need this 24 or less millimeters. This is especially with these long vessels, it's not so easy, because when they are close, you need at least 13 millimeters or more, better 10 millimeters. To grab a photo of a ship far too close for a good photo. The best shots you will get when it's approaching and when it's leaving. And when it's passing by, take a breath, listen to the horses in the engine room, and relax. Especially in part 2, what starts now, when the ship is approaching the core port. You can take some wonderful photos with the Hamburg skyline in the back. You will see that in a moment. This is really great. There is no use in shooting photos of a ship straight from the side. It never looks good. Except for tugboats. did I mention? I love tugboats. And now I shut up for some seconds so that we can take a listen to the many, many, many horses in the engine room. Enjoy. Well, to be honest, what you hear there is some splashing waters and the air condition of the engine room, but you won't hear the engine on such highly modern ships. They make far less noise than your hairdryer or electric shaver or vacuum cleaner. So just listen to the water and enjoy. At this stage, you can see on the right-hand side on the video, there is something in the back, and this is the skyline. And on the very right side, you see these red little thingies pointing to the sky. This is one of the container terminals in Hamburg, and this is one of the places where the ship will get. We'll see that later on. Now it's a good point to start shooting again with normal focal length. If you have tele length about 200 or 300 millimeter, it might be useful to wait until some seconds until you can get the ship and parts of the skyline, or you do some landscape photos like this, landscape with ship. What I personally always prefer over all those Instagram shots full of ship, you know. This, to me, it's far more challenging to capture the vibes and the moment, you know. But this should not hold you back. Talking about moments, at this stage, it's very interesting to get some close-ups of the tugboats and whatever comes in our way. That can get you some nice action photos, if you like this, for example. And there is always some traffic on this river that interacts with this train of containers. At least the ferries, they are in charge day by day by day. Yeah, if you pull out your 200 millimeters now, this will get some nice shots of the bow, for example, and a little bit of skyline or the tugboat in the back, as you just seen. And for these close-ups and traffic jam and so on, it's pretty useful strategy to watch through your viewfinder as long as you can, because there are some situations come up so fast and they go so fast, so never ever look at the display of a camera of the shots you made, just always forward and look for the next situation to come. This can be quite interesting and will get you some interesting photos. And by the way, by looking through your viewfinder, you will miss nothing. If you watch pictures on your display, I'm sure you will miss a good opportunity to make an even better photo. Here from the right hand side is one of the small type of the Hamburg port ferries. Just by chance the same green. They have no relationship with evergreen, absolutely not. And they come in all blends of colors, from green to blue to white, black, pink, whatever you can imagine. And by the way, on the right hand side you can see now some black blobs at the shore. I call them balconies. And these are pretty good shooting grounds, and 100% in one of the next videos you will get to see some photos made from there. I use these places preferably when I want to watch a little more down the river what is literally impossible from the front fire thinking radar. So, and at this point you realize how fast this all went. Just minutes ago it was approaching, now it's gone, nearly. Feel blessed if you have a powerful telelens with you. To put it in numbers, from the first photo until now, this took just 10 minutes. You know, this is slightly faster than you might expect. So what I always emphasize, use the time that you have to get some photos. Don't watch them on your camera. So what happens now is that the ship has to sail away now for 5 more minutes or so, and then they start pushing it around so that it's across the river, to push it into berth on the right hand side, stern ahead, and then it's done. But this is several minutes to go. Let's see what happens now. Now they start pushing it around. Then we have a nice hello from the engine room in the air. And this takes a little time, and very gently they push it around and around. And then it will vanish on the right hand side, where the berth places are. So if you like this video, got some useful information, or had just some good entertainment and watched some nice pictures, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and come back next time. That would help me out to raise this channel. I've got already a German channel up, but the plan is for 2023 to translate all these videos to English, just because I'm sure that there are lots of people who plan to go to Hamburg and may be interested in taking a peek and see what's going on here. So that might be more comfortable in English than in German. Yep, that's the way it is. And by the way, there are some photo spots on the right-hand side on the southern shore, and I highly emphasize take your pics from the south side, just because you have the sun in your back all day. This is not the case on the northern shore. Sounds logical, huh? And especially in the back on the right, there is a building, looks a little bit like a church, and that place is perfect to be very close to where the magic happens right now. And they have a little more traffic anyways on that end. It is called Bubende Ufer, and I've got some videos made at Bubende Ufer. You can get some very impressive shots there, no doubt. I prefer this place where I've been today, or one of the balconies on the right hand side, just because they are closer to my home. This is the whole reason, nothing else. But the distance between all these photo spots, if you want to take photos of big ships, this is not so much. Traveling from here to Bubende Ufer by ferry will take you maybe 10 minutes, maybe 12. And all these other spots, they are more or less in reach for bicycle, for example, or by car, of course. Talking about this building that looks like a church, this is the central station for the Hamburg harbor pilots, and it's also the Revierzentrale. In English, this is something like tower. Not a London tower, it's more like the tower on the airport. They do basically the same job there. Yes, and it has this Bubende Ufer, what is also a ferry station. So if you're interested to go there, tickets you can get at a local public transport agency, and they are really, you can call that cheap. This is no big deal and always worth the money. So, thanks for watching. Full steam ahead.